This is weird. There's like no one there.
When is it that you have it? Aren't you having like some
You're not.
type of surgery?
I know.
When?
I would think that they.
How?
They supposed to be here?
You're gonna lose weight? A lot of weight. Knowing him, he's happy.
Because how they're never question. So when you say it,
You will say,
not the first one.
no,
Segundo.
Good, I feel good. How are
tú
you?
vas a decir, yo,
Oh, thank you. I had so much fun. Oh my God. Girl, so much planning.
Yeah, you're right. Last time I
told my
sí,
friends.
no, no dimos. I mean, we didn't think of it. I like how they did the,
No, 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 I planned it. Yeah.
So it's like a
Look, I got the,
This is
I
like
just had
last
it done
year.
today.
because I
Yes.
feel like, fall.
Uh-huh.
So this is like the marshmallow and then she did a
This
little.
is it.
But it's nice how she did it. Who does it for you?
Everybody's.
Oh, she was in surgery today.
Cyst.
Yeah.
I just like that because
And
you don't have to wait.
ovaries.
She gives you time. You're there.
Yeah,
You're
she's
in
good
your
now.
cancer.
Yo también, con la que voy.
So after this, I'm just run home.
En la casa.
No,
Thank you.
pero ella siempre está.
She's heading
Ay,
home.
yo no tengo que. Very rarely, if she's falling behind. Here comes this, crushing. Vicky,
I like that blue one.
Thank you. Oh, yeah? Makes it look whiter.
It does. But that's a good thing.
Yeah.
oh, this is the backup for the 98. Okay.
The what?
This is the backup only. It's not an add-on.
No, well, I added it to the agenda since the agenda prep. That was the one I told you that we were
Uh-huh,
gonna have
yes,
the,
yes.
yeah. Only one
You
of them we're
didn't have
having
the,
today. Huh?
you didn't have that.
No, I didn't have
everything-
it, yeah. So
Okay.
now it's there. It's just,
Just making sure that.
yeah.
Did you respond to that email?
Oh, ella había contestado.
So people get, who's on the road that said that they were in 5 times and no one was responding?
Lo que pasa es que él y por eso dice, yo no puedo sentirse, por eso fue que te llamé, porque vi el número de él, que él le mandó a decir, a explicarle, entonces ella dijo, "Oh, yo sé eso, porque como yo sé que hizo él, pero yo quiero que me lo hagan", ¿me entiendes? Entonces yo no le contesté,
You don't know?
porque
I thought it was 12th Street.
que le contestara.
Oh, yes,
¿Te
I
acuerdas?
remember.
¿Te acuerdas? Cuando yo vi el número, fue que me acordé. Pero anyway,
So, we're not.
bueno, ella se quedó para mí. Para mí,
So just
de
reiterate.
compartir.
On tal y tal día, if you phone me, I tell you last question. Because I know they don't answer.
No, that's okay.
I thought you were like trying to get our attention.
Okay, we're ready? Good evening. This is the caucus meeting for September 24, 2025. Presiding officer of the council, Milady Tejeda, wishes to advise the audience that notice of this meeting has been filed with the Home News Tribune, the Star Ledger, and posted in the bulletin board in the city's clerk's office and the city's website, indicating that today's meeting is being held in the council chamber, City Hall, 260 High Street at 5:30 p.m. Right now it's 5:33. The council meeting will follow the caucus and closed session. Council President Tejeda, as a courtesy of the governing body, I will ask all individuals present, including members of the audience, to please turn off all cell phones and electronic devices. Should you need to make a telephone call, please go out into the hallway and speak in a low voice so as not to disturb the ongoing meeting. Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Cruz Batista.
Present.
Councilwoman Morales.
Present.
Councilwoman Peralta.
Present.
Councilman Puccio. Council President Tejeda.
Present. Okay. Right now, we'll have the towing suspension appear for AT towing.
Adele Tofik, AT Towing. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. So before we proceed, I would like to make a motion, nominate that this should be null and voided. And my reasoning would be, I have asked 3 different occasions through the city, through open request, to obtain the paperwork involved in this. I was denied on 2 occasions. On the 3rd occasion, I only received half of the paperwork that I required. On 9/11, I submitted a motion to propel the evidence, and I never received an answer. Mr. Akil feels as though this is a court matter and it's only for the court. I believe this is democracy. I have the right to face my accusers and my oppositions, and if I don't have the report that is in front of me stating who filed it and who obtained it and how it was filed, as I believe it is the police department that's an actual violation of the ordinance, not myself, as it should never have been entertained. None of these complaints were filed by the owners of the vehicle as states in the ordinance. So I would like to have you guys note that and null and void this. And there's no need to proceed with a hearing at this point. The only ones that are getting here is the police officers who are sitting here and accumulating overtime. And that's all that really is to it. So I just would like to know if you guys are going to proceed. And if so, I am entitled to the paperwork that I need in order to build my case and defend my case, because I have not received anything from the police department. It's been a song and a dance, and it's been a cover-up. It's been a whole lot of smoke and mirrors, but I have not received nothing in black and white saying who filed the paperwork, where is the paperwork, where is the complaint, as it states in the ordinance in 425-17. I have not received any of that stuff. Furthermore, I was acting on behalf of what was discussed here, and I have it on USB when we had different meetings where I specifically asked, what do we follow, the ordinance or the contract? And I was told to follow the ordinance. Nothing in the ordinance states anything about credit card use, nothing at all. Not one mentioning. The contract was supposed to have been revised. The contract was supposed to have been redone. I emailed you quite a bit of exchanges that we have done with the police department regarding my requests and with the city attorney, or Mr. Akil. And yet, I have not received any paperwork as far as the actual complaints from the owner of the vehicles.
Okay.
So you don't have it?
I'm sorry?
You don't have it?
I do not. I do not. I did an open request on 3 different occasions. The first 2 I was denied, and the 3rd I received half of the information.
And what do you mean by half?
So in my open request, there's two things in question. So in my open request, half of it was fulfilled, the other half wasn't.
Okay. Mr. Opal, maybe you can guide us a little bit on this?
My understanding is that there's 2 complaints at issue in this case. With regard to the Oprah request, I also understand that the complaints were submitted, but the names of the individuals who made the complaints to the police department were redacted. The way the ordinance is set up, the complainant in this instance is the city or the police department. So with regard to, a right to face accusers, the accusers in this instance are the city or the police department. So that's not really an issue as far as I'm concerned. When there's complaints filed, when there's requests filed under Oprah, when it relates to a complaint, there's names that are redacted when the city releases information. And they're properly redacted pursuant to the requirements of the public records law. So the information that was provided is sufficient for a defense for the 2 complaints related to failure to accept a credit card in this instance. The names of the two individuals are redacted when they were provided. The council has the information with the names on it, because you're entitled to see that privileged information. But as far as the appeal today, I'm of the opinion that it can proceed. We can hear from Mr. Tawfik, we can hear from the police department, and then the council has 20 days to render a decision after considering the evidence of both sides.
Okay.
So there was, on the same token, there was 3 OPA requests that filed. Same one was filed 3 times. One, I received the answer on with the complaint. The other one, which involved Chief Catano's stepson, I didn't receive anything on it. Not the complaint, not the author complaint, not the owner of the car, not the driver of the car, nothing at all. And I have that in the email from Captain McCune, which I forwarded to you guys. Not once was that answered, not once.
Well, let's step back a minute, for a minute. So, what Mr. Tawfik is saying is that he doesn't have the complaint itself. He got a letter that says he's gonna be suspended, but he doesn't have the actual body of the complaint and what the accusation is, other than he didn't take a credit card. So I'm asking why wasn't he provided with the document that says, this is the reason why we're here. This is the reason why we're gonna suspend you. This is the complaint, that on such and such a day, at such and such a time, in such and such a location, you did not take the credit card when asked. Now, I've seen the video. I watched the video. I've seen both officers' body cams. So all I'm trying to say is that, isn't Mr. Tawfik entitled to the document? You can redact the woman's name on there, whoever the person is the police officer talked to, but isn't he entitled to the actual document, the charging document that was written up to back up the letter that he was given?
My understanding is that he has that with the names redacted.
Do you
I
have
do
that?
not. I only have the one, and it was, the email from Captain McCune was forwarded to all of you guys, just to avoid this pointing fingers and he said, she said stuff.
No, all right, but wait a minute, Mr. Tawfik. So you only have one?
I only have one, that's
Well-
correct.
Well, where's the other one?
That's the good question. And ironically, that's the one that involves the chief's stepson, ironically. So is it a clerical issue, is it a human issue, or was it just a cover-up? I don't know.
But in all fairness to that, right? Now, I stated that if there was a complaint, an IA complaint that has not been resolved, we shouldn't have came to this, because that means that there's one issue that's really not resolved behind all of this. And I didn't want to bring it out here, but obviously that's why we're talking about it. It's because he only got half of it, not all of it. And I'll take it to another step. You know, obviously, being around this town over my whole life and working for the city over 40 years, I'm gonna know a lot of different people. And a lot of different people are gonna tell me things. All I'm saying, and I've said it once, I've said it twice, I said it at the Board of Ed, and I'm gonna say it here again. I wanna see that everybody is treated fairly and evenly. And that when we're gonna do something, the same set of rules applies to everybody, every time. So all I asked, and this is not the first time I'm saying this, that I said that if there was an open IA complaint, that we shouldn't have moved forward on this. Now, look, and you know what? I know Mr. Tawfik. I know the lieutenant. I worked with the lieutenant. I rode a bicycle to Washington, D.C. with the individual that he's talking about. So I know all the parties involved. So for me to get up here and rant about this one more time, right? I don't mean to ruffle anybody's feathers, but I've said this before, and we're here, and he doesn't have it.
But I'm sorry, I'm a little confused on this. Isn't that 2 separate cases?
So I'll say this. The action that's in front of the governing body tonight is an appeal of the towing suspension. You all have the opportunity to hear from both sides and render a decision. And you take into consideration everything that you hear, everything that you know, and you make the decision.
Well, let me ask you this, Mr. Opal. Why do we have to do it right now?
Because pursuant to the ordinance, when there is an appeal filed, the hearing has to be held within 30 days.
So does the ordinance just favor the city? I mean,
I think the 30 days is favorable to the appellant because.
and from my
it
understanding
allows
that
for a quick
both
decision.
things are being merged, which I think actually in all fairness, that sounds good that they're merged, right? But all I'm saying is, why didn't he get it?
My
That's all
understand-
I'm asking.
My understanding, I didn't fulfill, I reviewed some documents. I didn't fulfill the request myself, but my understanding is that the two documents were provided, but the names of the complainants were redacted.
So is he missing that last document that he has stated, other than the names being redacted?
As far as I know, the complaints were submitted and the names were redacted.
So I just want to get clarity. So since I've been here and my involvement with this, I've seen 2 Oprah requests that he has submitted. I don't know if there's a third one. I haven't seen it, and I've made it my business to make sure that those Oprah requests were filled in a timely manner as per the Oprah statute. Only thing, he has all of that information, but the information for the actual individuals who filed the complaints has been redacted, and he's been vigilant about getting the names and addresses of these people.
But with
So-
all due respect, Mr. Akil, Mr. Opal just said the complainant is the city of Perth Amboy and the police officer that filled out the thing.
Where there's a suspension and an appeal, the complainant is, in this instance,
Right.
the city
So
is the
I'm-
regulatory body, but the city acts on complaints from constituents.
Right, I get
So
that.
the name of the complainant is not relevant to this
Right.
proceeding.
So,
I understand
so Councilman,
that,
just so
okay.
you know, so just the actual complaints were filed by the owners of these vehicles. Those were given to you, though he has that, the names and addresses have just been redacted.
But I'm not disputing that part.
That's 100% inaccurate, and that's exactly my argument here. That's why I want the paperwork to stop, just like you made it out of your business to have these Oprah requests fulfilled. So there was 5, and ironically, one of my Oprah requests went to a whole different attorney that had nothing to do with my case. So now you guys should figure out how did that happen. That's not on my end, that's on your end. So figure out that happened. So I had 5 Oprah requests that were filled, not 3. And one of them is missing half of the stuff, like I said. So back to what you were saying, Mr. Akil, you're 100% right about redacting, that's fine. But there was 2 things here in question. One is that I filed to compel the evidence, which I'm entitled to, without redacting anything. As far as the Oprah request, that's fine, you can redact it all you want. But this is gonna fall back to the fruit of the poisonous tree. As you had just stated, and as per the city ordinance, it's the owner of the vehicle that has filed a complaint. Neither one of these cases, the owner of the vehicle filed a complaint. Neither one. And the city cannot give me paperwork to prove that that's such an inaccurate statement. That's the owner of the vehicle, in fact, is the one that filed the paperwork and filed the complaint.
So what I will say to you is, because you're saying there's 5, I'm only aware of 2. What are the dates that you submitted these Oprah requests?
They were all forwarded to the council. I'm not concerned with the other 3 because I got them fulfilled. I mean, with the 2. However,
So
the
what
3.
are you, so what are the, what you said half was filled, what is the half that wasn't? What don't you have that you're
I
looking for?
don't have the one that involved Chief Catano's stepson from one of these complaints that are in question here.
So, what is it that you asked for in that Oprah request that you don't have?
The
Because that wasn't,
complaint, the actual complaint. I don't have it. Nothing.
from, you saying the complaint from his stepson, is that what you don't
The
have?
complaint from the owner of the vehicle. As per the city ordinance 425, it clearly states all complaints for, let's go through a definition. Definition for towing is a consumer's vehicle. That's number 1. Neither one of these vehicles was a consumer vehicle. They were both commercial vehicles, both of them. So that's not even according to the ordinance. Third, if you follow forward more into the ordinance, it states the owner of the vehicle is the one that has filed a complaint. Neither of the owner of these vehicles came forward and filed a complaint. Neither one.
All I can go by, I'm confused with what he's
The
saying.
2, I mean, the 2.
What I saw was,
What was, and I don't know,
was
understand.
written and with the ones that from what I read and what you all have, were filed by those people who, the owners of those vehicles. And that
So
was the right time.
why is it that I can't see that complaint?
So then-
How can you prove to me that the owner of the vehicle filed a complaint?
I'm confused with you, because I know that was provided to
So
you. I'll have
he's
to
not
check it.
understanding why we can't give him the names of the people that filed the
Well, he's
complaint.
not gonna get that.
Yeah.
But why? It's a motion to compel evidence. I have the right to subpoena those people to come here and
Well,
testify.
I'll let Mr. Opal speak to that. I've addressed that in emails. This isn't a court of law, like discovery and open requests are two different things.
But
You're confusing
but
the
this
two.
is my constitutional right.
Okay, so the way the ordinance is set up, you have a right to appeal to the council. The police, you're gonna give testimony if you care to. The police department's going to give testimony. The information that you have is that a complaint was issued, the date it was issued, the location, presumably the make, model, and color of the vehicle, and a narrative of the situation. You have that information. The name of the complainant, as far as this proceeding goes, is irrelevant because the police department was the one who issued you the complaint. So you can make your case, the police can make their case, the council can make a decision. If you're not satisfied with the council's decision, you have a right to further appeal to the Superior Court.
Okay, but then who's in violation of the ordinance? The city? According to the ordinance, it's the owner of the vehicle who has to file the complaint.
And you have the information that they did file the complaint.
No, I don't. Neither one of these owners filed a complaint.
Yes, they did.
No, they didn't.
Can we tell him legally why we cannot give him the names of?
Because it's personal
To me-
identifying information that
Okay.
is redacted in accordance with Oprah. The information was provided pursuant to Oprah. The city can't provide
I
some
understand
information.
that.
If someone
agree
files
with
a
that, but-
zoning complaint against another property owner, and the property owner says, I want to see this complaint, I don't believe one was filed, the city provides the complaint, redacts the complainant's name. And there's policy reasons why that's the case.
I understand that. I deal with that on my job. I just wanted to make it clear and to be open with the public.
So if,
I,
these are procedural concerns that I think are not relevant to the underlying complaint of failing to adhere to the towing contract. And if the city, the council can weigh that accordingly. If they think that there's something unfair going on here, you can weigh it accordingly when making your decision. Otherwise, I would suggest you proceed with the hearing, and there's, the appellant has further appeal rights to the Superior Court if he's unsatisfied with the council's decision.
Okay,
well,
so. okay,
Madam
go ahead.
President, I just want to clarify something I just want to make it clear that what I am talking about, that there's two separate incidents, right? I understand about merging the charges. From my understanding, I don't care about whose name is where, I get the redacted thing, I am not disputing that at all. I'm saying that there's two complaints. Right now, there were two incidents and there were two reports generated. According to Mr. Tawfik, he only has one. I'm asking where the other one is. That's what I'm asking. I'm not asking about who the people are or any of that. I'm asking about where the other one is. Now, I know where, I've seen both of them. They're on mine. I got them. We all got it. I'm asking you, why doesn't he have it?
Well,
Is that a chief question or
no.
who question?
He could come up, but my thing is, he was given what you all have, just redacted names with just redacted. So I'm trying to think, which one doesn't he have? Or what doesn't he have?
He's
From which
saying it.
date? Tell me the dates, because I can't give him names and all that kind of stuff, so.
No, he's saying that he didn't receive a
this-
second copy of the
Well,
second complaint.
What date is the one you don't have?
I don't have the one from the 6th. The one involving, I'll make it easier for you, since it's privileged information. I'm missing the one from June 6th involving a 21 BMW X4 belonging to Sakuni Brown Rental Enterprises LLC out of Elmwood, Elizabeth, New Jersey, Elmwood Ave, Elizabeth, New Jersey, that was towed for possession of a weapon and search warrant related, which was driven by Isaias Ramon Rosario, which was released to Christina Frostre.
So you have all the information, even the information information that was supposed to be redacted?
I don't have none of the information about who filed the complaint. Because according
So
to
how do you have
425-12,
names and everything? How do you have names and everything?
from the police department release form.
You have everything. You have
Exactly.
everything. in the
No,
council
I
files.
don't. I don't have, you can argue all you want, I don't have the actual complaint. As per 425, the owner of the vehicle has filed a complaint.
Hold it, Mr. Tawfik. I understand what you're doing. I understand what you got in your hand. Here's a police department document, the release form that releases the car back to whoever it got. That's not the complaint.
That's not-
He just happens to have the names of all the people involved because they had to sign for the car, when it was towed, what time it was towed, who towed it, AT Towing. He's asking for,
My understanding is that that was provided, but I have it sitting in front of me. I can hand that over to him right now. It's one page.
okay.
Do you want to do that?
Sure.
What's the easiest way to print this out?
I don't know if you're hooked up into that printer in there. That's a linear, I don't know the number.
I just don't understand why this wasn't provided sooner, instead of all this back and forth.
Our
Assuming
understanding
that he didn't.
That it
I don't know,
wasn't
I'm not on
provided.
his end.
I mean,
was.
it was provided,
I see
assuming
the email, I
that we
received
got
the
it,
paperwork, yeah. I
and
just
and
don't
he should
understand
have
why.
gotten it.
Yes, that you
I
should
mean,
have gotten it.
honestly, there's nothing to assume. I forwarded you guys the email from Captain McCune. You guys could open the email and see it yourself. It's very simple.
If he has the
Is it, can you find it?
I got it.
Yeah.
tell him, the lady,
Yep, right now.
Malati, Madam President, just let the police present their case.
Let me see if I
That's it, because I think he already presented his part. Is anything else that you need to present so we can get the police and present their part?
No, we haven't gotten into the ordinance. We haven't got to anything behind this that led to this.
Okay, so you already said you didn't get it.
Correct.
What's the next point that you have there
Okay,
to
so
present?
assuming, which I know it was not done by the owners of the vehicle, according to the ordinance, the complaint has to be filed by the owner of the vehicle, in which in
Okay.
this case, it wasn't.
Okay,
Both
and you
vehicles were
presented that.
commercials.
You presented that part.
Aside of that, I have a USB that go play whenever you guys wish. When I came here, time after time, questioning the contradiction between the contract and the ordinance, time after time. And one simple question I was asked Mr. Opal, what do we follow, the contracts or the ordinance? And Mr. Opal said, follow the ordinance. It's on here, USB. Come here a later time, was questioned again about the credit card optional, and you guys questioned it. Ms. Cruz Batista questioned it, and Ms. Peralta questioned it. And like, this was talked about, why it hasn't been done. It was voted on it that credit card thing was gonna be optional. It wasn't gonna be mandatory. It was voted on it. Mr. Opal never put it in place. So it's not my fault that it wasn't put in place. I was following instruction that was sit here. Audio and video recorded, not by me. So if I followed one side, I'm wrong. If I follow another side, I'm still wrong. Like, no matter what I do, I'm gonna be wrong in the eyes of the police department. It's not gonna matter.
The options have to be given to the resident of how they want to pay.
Okay, so two things with that point that you just made, Council President. So this one vehicle in particular, the BMW, it was involved in a commission of a crime with a weapon, and they took off on the police. What will guarantee me funds that they wouldn't have screwed me over due to whatever you want to call it afterwards, after they leave? Like, the criminal mentality is there that they're gonna get over, because they already did it twice in the past.
They still have the option of whatever option they can choose to pay you. That's the way I look at it.
Okay, so, but that's the
They
way.
should have, even though they're criminals, they have the same options for everyone.
Okay, so this state laws regarding certain things, and if I feel that it was for improper intention, then yes, I'm gonna deny them service on it. It's not fair for us as business owners either.
Well, let me ask
I-
you a question, Mr. Tawfik.
Mhm.
I don't mean to interrupt the president.
Go ahead.
Was this a private tow?
The one is a private tow, yes.
Which one is that?
It's the Ford, Ford Escape.
So that's not the June 6th one.
No, this is June 5th.
Right, the June 6th one,
It's a police tow,
and involves the recovering of evidence or whatever.
yes. So that vehicle was initially towed on May 30th. And it was released after hours to the owner of the vehicle, trying to, well, not the owner, but a driver of the vehicle, trying to
So-
accommodate them.
Well, let me ask you this. So,
Get closer to the mic.
oh, sorry,
because-
the one on, the private tow,
Okay?
right? Is that the one with the older woman?
Yes,
And the rideshare service?
yes,
So that was a private tow?
correct. So there were special circumstances regarding this one as well. So the state predatory law indicates that if I don't use credit cards in my normal course of business, that I don't have to use credit cards. That's number one. Number two, the driver of this vehicle was basically trying to have the patient, who's the passenger, who's the older lady, paid for it, since the driver felt they were doing service for the owner of the vehicle, for the patient, that the patient was responsible. I disagreed. I felt the driver was in total control of the car regarding where the patient went. So they were trying to get the patient to pay, and the patient only had a credit card. So I declined the credit card use to force the company or the driver to be responsible and not the owner. So the driver chose to go to ATM and pull out cash, and that's how that happens.
All right, well, go ahead, continue, because I'm gonna have to ask Mr. Opel a question. Can you clarify something for me, Mr. Opel? When Mr. Tawfik tows for the city of Perth Amboy, like police tow, car accident, something happens where the Perth Amboy Police Department calls him up and says, it's your turn, come and do it, pick this car up for us. So he's operating as a police tow. So he falls under the contract for police tow, right?
Yes.
So if he towed a car that was a private tow, even though it was in the city of Perth Amboy, does that fall under the contract?
I would say yes.
Why?
Because all of the towers who are on the list for the city are approved by, so whether it's a private tow, there's really
So
no
if you,
distinction, they're all.
there are
approved.
other tow truck companies in the city of Perth Amboy that are not on the tow list, right? Now, if they do a private tow, and they're not contracted by the city, they're just in business for themselves, they do a private tow. Now, they have a complaint. They call the police department up and they say, hey, this tow truck guy, he only wants to take cash. So what recourse does that complainant have when the tow truck guy isn't doing the tow for the city? So that's what I'm saying,
So
there's a
what I'll
difference
say
here.
is that,
There's a difference here, Mr. Opel. When he works for the city of Perth Amboy, he falls under the rules of the contract.
correct.
When he's doing a private tow, he falls under the contract and the laws of the state of New Jersey.
I'll say this, the city's ordinance, and I'll read the ordinance, just so everyone. Applications by persons seeking to provide towing and vehicle storage services to the city of Perth Amboy, including all wreckers operating within the city of Perth Amboy, whether under contract to perform said services for the city or operating for an individual or an entity.
Mr. Opel, you answered my question. That was, as long as I know it's there, all right, all right. I needed to know that, so no, all right, I get it. All right, continue, Mr. Opel.
All right, so looking
No,
at
that
these,
was good.
so looking at these two documents here, since I can't know the author of the complainants, which I'm sure it's not the owner, maybe you guys could have it, but my argument is gonna remain the same. My argument is that it's not neither one of the owners. These are both commercial vehicles. Neither one of these doors filed a complaint. This was operator or possessor, not the owner, which contradicts the ordinance. The ordinance specifically states it's the owner of the vehicle that must file the complaint. So if they entertained a complaint, which they shouldn't have, we would not have been here today. The legal terminology of that is the fruit of a poisonous tree, and that's where we are.
Mr. Opal, does it say that in the ordinance?
Again, I'll go back to definition. Consumer, a natural person, not a company, a natural person. The state law for the Predatory Act falls as the same thing. It has to be a consumer's vehicle, same thing. Not a commercial vehicle, not a company car. In both these instances, they were company cars. Neither owner of the company came to file a complaint. It was the possessor, the driver. Big difference, because it contradicts the ordinance.
Well, it's also my understanding that a police officer, which I know a little bit about, because I was one, right, can act as a witness to the commission of any violation, whether it's an ordinance violation or, and unfortunately, I believe that's what the argument is here, is that the police officer was acting as in the scope of his authority, actually, when he did it. Now, I know you don't like to hear that, but I think is that possible, Mr. Opal, what I just said?
Yeah, I mean,
I'm trying to touch all the bases, because you know what, we have to hear the whole argument. You know, like if a police officer witnesses an ordinance violation, right? He can write a summons.
even if he doesn't, if he has,
So if he, now according to what we're doing right here, if he's saying, realizing there's an ordinance violation, does he still fit into that where he can write the complaint against Mr. Toffey?
in a hypothetical like that, I mean, I don't think the ordinance contemplates the police directly writing the complaints. I think the police act on vehicle owner, operator, whatever complaints.
Right.
The ordinance does say owner, but we know that, you know, when there's vehicles that people are operating, they're the ones who are responsible for picking them up. They're in charge of the vehicle. However you want to consider that, that's up to you. But, you know, and then, I mean, this is an administrative matter, but oftentimes when there's criminal complaints, I'm just using this example because the police department's involved in both this regulation and those actions. The police don't often witness
That's true.
ordinance violations, criminal activity, anything like that. They get a complaint, they conduct an investigation, and they make a determination
Right.
as they're going to proceed.
Right. That's
So
how it
this is a
normally
different area. There's really not a lot of similarities. This is a regulatory administrative hearing. Different rules are obviously apply here than in a court of law, but, you know, you have the information as to who filed the complaint. Mr. Topic has that
All right,
information.
but I'm just saying, because, you know, Mr. Toffic's argument is that the officer couldn't file a complaint.
The officer didn't file a complaint. The police department issued the notice of violation to him. They found the suspension pursuant to the ordinance. The complaint was filed
Then I
by an
misunderstood
individual.
that. Then I misunderstood what somebody said a while back. So, all right,
The police acted on a complaint filed by an
right,
individual.
they acted on the complaint.
Okay, so there was a questionable pause by Mr. Opal when you asked that question, so I want to point that out. Secondly, they're trying to manipulate the ordinance and the wording on it to make it fit. It's in black and white, section D. Black and white. There's no manipulation on this. There's no hypothetically speaking, no, it's in black and white. The owner of the vehicle, doesn't say the driver, doesn't say the possessor, it says the owner of the vehicle. So if we're gonna stick to the ordinance, let's stick to the ordinance. There's no manipulating it to make it fit however which way they wanna make it fit.
All right, continue, Mr. Toffic.
So, moving on, which I believe is the silliest against the in violation. The question is the ordinance, violation of the ordinance. There's nothing in the ordinance that states we have to take credit cards. There's nothing. Not one part of the
We
ordinance.
put that.
It was implemented in the contract, not in the ordinance. And if you notice how I signed my contract, under duress and stress and threats. Because Lieutenant Medina called and said, hey, these contracts are not signed and they're not backdated, so God knows what day, you're not gonna be able to tow, you're gonna be thrown off the list. And I came here and I complained about it, and I questioned, why is it being backdated? Why it's not signed from this date forward? Why is it being retroactive? So, again, come here and complain, like I always do. Ask, hey, what are we following, the ordinance or the contracts? Because they love making pit stops at AT towing.
So I would say, Mr. Ober, can you explain that portion to him? He has a signed contract, regardless of why he signed it. He signed the contract, and from my understanding, you can correct me if I'm wrong, as long as the contract is not in contradiction to the ordinance, it's applicable, and you signed it. But I'll let you speak to that.
Yeah, the contract itself is a requirement of the ordinance. Anybody who's an approved to provide the services for the city, they have to sign a contract. So that's where the contract requirements come into play. It is true that the Section 6 of the contract, the method of accepting payments, that's not codified in the ordinance, but it is a requirement of the contract. Contract is a requirement of the ordinance, so that's why it's in there. That was a policy decision that the council made to include that language in the contract and not the ordinance, so that it could be revisited, because this is a relatively new issue that hasn't arisen before with the increasing popularity, reliance, whatever you want to call it, on electronic payment applications. It's a changed circumstance, and whether that stays the case, whether there's some other new form of payment that should be considered, the council wanted the flexibility to include that in contracts and not have to change the ordinance every time. So that's why it was included in there. I don't know what else to say, but it was a policy decision that the council made to include the language to require the electronic payments in addition to cash and credit card.
So the and/or that I know Ms. Cruz had requested and I had requested, that was added on there? It was.
The language is the towing operator must accept credit cards and cash application, i.e. Venmo, Apple Pay, et cetera, payment. So it's not at the discretion of it's at the discretion of the person making the payment, how they want to pay. They have all options available to them, how they want to pay. The tow operator, the way their language is worded, it takes the discretion away from the tow operator, puts it in the hands of the person who has to pay, essentially.
Okay.
So fast forward, I had issues between the contract contradicting the ordinance. And I expressed it very clearly through emails with Mr. Opal, and I'll forward all these emails to you guys as well. Mr. Opal noted my position in it and agreed that there was inconsistencies. However, it was not fixed. That the language and or was supposed to have been changed. It was voted on 4-1, and it was supposed to have been changed. It never took place. And every time I come and address the problem, hey, what are we waiting for? Oh, it's gonna be done. It hasn't been done. So again, I have it on audio and video, so no one could deny it. Play it so you can hear exactly what's been said. My question was very clear. Do I follow the ordinance or follow the contract? Both in place. And I was told, follow the ordinance. If I go left, I'm wrong. If I go right, I'm wrong.
So, to me, the way I see this, the ordinance and the contract just contradicts itself.
The ordinance doesn't. The ordinance is silent as to payment. The contract has that specific language. There's no contradiction. It's just the contract has more in it than the ordinance does.
But the ordinance supersedes the contract because it's the ordinance, the city ordinance. But
The
it doesn't
ordinance-
state in the ordinance specifically regarding payment. So I'm confused.
The only thing I can say is that if
If he was told to follow the ordinance and it doesn't state on
the
the
ordinance
ordinance.
doesn't say anything about payment.
Right.
The way, if you want to interpret it that way, take it a step further.
I mean,
There would be no
it's in
payment.
black and white. The ordinance
The
doesn't state
ordinance
it.
sets forth the numbers. It doesn't set forth method of payment, just the contract.
Correct.
So how am I in violation of an ordinance that doesn't specify anything about this?
You're violating the contract.
I'm not in violation of the contract.
It's a breach of contract.
The suspension's for violating the ordinance, not violating the contract.
So can we clarify, Mr. Opal, which
Yeah.
area of the ordinance?
The contract, the ordinance is general as to how much can be charged for what kind of vehicle.
Right, it's specific to those
The
dollars,
contract,
fees.
the
Yeah.
contract is more specific as to
More
the
methods.
practicality of the transaction. So, yes, it doesn't say in the ordinance that what method of payment that you have to pay. If the council wants to change that, council can change that. You know, it doesn't say cash, it doesn't say credit card, it doesn't say check, it doesn't say
And
Cash App, it doesn't say anything like that. So the contract takes the practicality of it, you know, the logistics of the transaction a step further and codifies that. But the contract is a requirement of the ordinance. It is a valid document that's required to be signed by all tow operators, and, you know, the city's position has been that it's a binding agreement.
Ordinance is very clear, states violations must be submitted by the owner of the car. It wasn't. Chief Catano's letter says violation of 425-14, very clear in black and white. There was no violation of the ordinance. So if you guys want to visit and reestablish that in the ordinance, then that's fine. But until then, there's no violation of the ordinance itself. No matter what song and dance you get here from both sides, it's just a song and a dance. That's all it is. So after you guys make a decision, if you want to change the ordinance, that's fine. But hey, my question was clear to Mr. Opal. Do I follow the ordinance or the contract? Answer, follow the ordinance. Very clear. In the same room, right here. USB, audio and video. So if that was the case, you should say, hey, follow both.
are those your points? Now
Yeah.
Are you gonna play that?
Sure.
How much is on there?
My thing, Mr. Opal, I'm just thinking, this is just me, you're the attorney, I'm just thinking before we play that, I'm just of the mindset, but, you know, I'll leave it up to in terms of legality, him being able to play that and the other video footage of what he's accused of doing can't be shown here today. So is that really fair that he can show that video, but the other video that shows what's actually transpired and what he's accused of taking place can't be shown here today? And the councilman is aware of it.
What do you mean?
In
So,
terms of like-
so once again, I can't submit evidence. I can't face my accusers and I can't submit evidence.
So he's saying, is it fair?
Video.
Legally, for him to show his video, but we can't show.
Well, he's showing.
It's
a
videos of you
video-
guys.
He's showing a video of a public event.
Okay. I mean.
Is it a
th-
video of the
isn't that-
council
that-
meeting?
It's video of you guys. It's a video of me questioning Mr.
Well,
Opal, what do I
Mr.
follow?
Opal, can you weigh in on this, please? I mean,
The council meetings are public.
Public record.
Okay,
I mean,
And the
and I
council
don't
has-
think we're gonna see anything new.
yeah.
You're the deciders on this. You've seen the video.
Yeah,
don't-
and
I don't recall this, but.
Well,
is it-
maybe
is
that's
it
why
cut
he's
or is it the
trying to
whole
show it
council
so that.
No,
it
it's cut.
can-
Okay, go ahead.
Is it under the folder that says shorts? Is that the one? I'm looking at it here, I haven't put it up yet. It says shorts. Yeah. Okay.
no voice.
It's just really low.
It's playing, I can't hear it. Can you hear it?
A little bit.
It's really low.
I can't hear it. Huh? Oh,
It's hard to,
Is
so
this the video?
my question is it possible that you can send that to the council so they, or have someone? send
So I
it so they can-
tried, but because of the length, I couldn't email it.
Can John
Okay.
Luke
How long
send-
is
can
that?
John
Will you be
Luke
able
send
to
it
leave
us?
that with them for them to, so that they can hear it?
That's fine, you could hold on to it if you want.
Yeah,
If you want to
so
hear it in privacy, that's fine.
That'll be part of the record. You can listen to it when you can actually hear it. I can't hear it, but when you can actually hear it, you can listen to it. And you have, the decision's not gonna be made tonight. You have 20 days to make the decision, so this will be part of the record and you can
Okay.
consider it.
okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you.
Anything else?
Anything else you
No,
have?
that's it.
Okay, thank you. Will we have the police department come up, please?
So you're gonna hold on to the USB, right?
No, I can make a
John
copy.
Luke could.
He's gonna make a copy and send it to us.
Okay,
I'll make a copy and I'll get the USB back to you.
Thank you.
okay. Or send us a video of that date, whatever's easier.
Yeah, there's only two showings. I think one is like, well, one is like 6 minutes, another one's like 3 minutes. I think this is the longest one. But the other one's pretty shorter when Mr. Opal said to follow the ordinance, not the contracts.
Okay.
And just so the record's clear and there's no argument that there was evidence that the council didn't consider, we have, the only evidence you're submitting is this electronic, or these electronic recordings that are included on that USB, nothing else.
Well, the actual ordinance itself.
The ordinances, I mean, that's.
Yeah, so my whole thing is
I'm
that
just saying
the
as far as
ordinance
that-
was not being followed.
As far as evidence goes.
Yes,
That's,
the USB.
that's it? Nothing
Yes.
else?
Yes,
Okay, I mean, the ordinance is what, how this is all decided, so,
okay,
if that's the only thing, I just want to make sure that that's the only thing that you're putting into the record.
yep. Yeah, just the ordinance, 'cause the ordinance is very clear, it's in black and white, no matter what you guys hear. Obviously, there's personal reasons why this is being done the way it's being done by the police department. I'm sure you guys are aware of it. Not at liberty to bring it up because there's litigations in place, but it's amazing how it's the same individuals just keep at me all the time and just don't know how to fall back and let the court system take its course. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If you have any questions, I'll be more welcome to answer them. From my understanding, the city ordinance requires a contract, correct? So he should be following the contract because the city ordinance requires it. So saying that it's two different things, I think it's all in one. And if you've seen my report and the councilman has seen the video, it's clear that he did not accept a credit card. He makes the statement that the credit card machine is out of service, but no time does he mention he ever had a credit card. When the officers were speaking to him, or the consumers, or trying to get the card released. So I think it's clear blatantly that he violated the contract. And if he signed the contract, he should follow the contract. You don't have any other issues with any other tow companies with this particular incident, or accepting a credit card. So I don't know why it's just with AT Towing. He doesn't want to follow it, but I'm not sure exactly the reason why behind it is. And the reason behind it, as you can, when I did a report, is that some people don't have cash, or we live in a town that people have excess money. So when you get your car towed and you have a ticket, it could be in excess over $250 to get your car out of an impound. Some people don't have $250 in cash. Or in the cash apps, you gotta have that cash available to use. So people use their credit cards and they'll worry about paying it later to get the car out so they can return to going to work. There's a reason behind getting a credit card. So not accepting it just puts some of our people that are getting the cars towed not being able to get the cars out, which they do need it to go to work. Do you have any questions? I mean, you read it. Do you want me to go over the instances of what actually occurred?
Do you need anything else from?
No, I saw the videos yesterday.
I do have a question, and this is a general question. As far as any of the tow companies violating the contract or the ordinance, is there a specific protocol that states in the ordinance or the contract of what the protocol is if a company does have a violation? Do they get sent a warning to fix the problem or the issue, and then get a warning first, and then, or is it just straight to suspension if they breach a contract or violate the ordinance?
There's
What is the
nothing in
proper
contract or the
protocol?
city ordinance that says the process of it. When I get a complaint, I review it. I question the tow company for their response to it, because sometimes they'll give me information on it that the customer's not giving me on it, and that will solve the problem there. If not, depending on what it is, I would say if there was an issue, educate them. Hey, you're doing this wrong, or you need to start doing this. But in this particular instance, I have notified AT Towing multiple times. From my understanding, you need to accept credit cards. It's not the first time this has happened with him. It's been going on about a year that he's been advised that every time you have to accept credit cards. When you go into his place of business, there is a sign on the wall that says cash and Zelle only. It doesn't say cash, Zelle, and credit cards. So he has no intentions on accepting credit cards.
Right, so, well, my question was, is there a policy in place, whether it states black and white in the contract or the ordinance? Are you gonna give this company a warning first? Or is it just, if you violate something, you're gonna get suspended? I think it should be stated specifically what the process is. So, because just to be fair, just to everyone, if the towing company, maybe this is their first time, I'm just saying, speaking in general, maybe this is their first time violating or not following the ordinance, maybe they should get a warning. And it should state in the contract or the ordinance. And then if you do it again, then you shall be suspended. I think in all fairness, I think that should be the way, it should be handled. But, or is it just, or if you're just gonna specifically say you violate the contract or the ordinance, then you're gonna get suspended. But it should be said in black and white.
That's something you want to do, that you can do, that we can follow.
Because, we can't just make, you can't just make, this one instance, this is what happens, and then another instance, you're gonna make another decision it's completely different. You have to follow some kind of concrete, structural policy, law. You know what I mean?
The way, if you violate the contract or the city ordinance, you would be written up.
Right, and there should be something in writing stating to the company, saying, this is your first warning, this, you've been told, so that way you have some kind of paper trail, not just by, verbally, you're saying to this company, I've warned you, you have no proof. Company has no proof, you know what I mean? So I think it should state in writing, in the contract and in the ordinance, and also if you're gonna, move forward with saying, you're gonna get warned, this is a warning, it should be written also. That way you have proof that this has been happening. And that way we have something to fall back on, because it's like he said, she said, like, how do we know who's not telling the truth or who's lying?
As to being advised of that, you need to follow this, there's body cam footage of me advising him. Every time I speak to him.
But it's still,
there is body cam.
there is that proof, but like I said, it also you have to have some kind of written policy.
That would be on us, though. We would have to make that up.
Yeah, that would be something on you that you want
Right.
to follow, that we will implement, yes.
I think we should revisit the contract and the ordinance, and
I'll note that
But
the
I-
relevant section of the ordinance provides that the chief of police or designee shall have the power to suspend the towing operator from the rotational duty service list for a period of up to 30 calendar days for failure to comply with any subsection of this section. And a subsequent violation may result in permanent approval. It doesn't contemplate a warning, so if the council wants to change that, you'll have to adopt an ordinance to amend that language first. And then, with regard to, you mentioned, he said, she said, the council's position here is to hear the complaint, so you hear both sides, you determine, credibility, you determine what the ordinance says, you determine what do you think the facts are, and you make a decision based off that.
So Mr. Council Member here, Mr. Puccio, you went there yesterday?
Yes.
And
No,
can you-
was yesterday?
Yes.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Can
it
you
was.
tell us what you saw? Because we didn't see it, so.
All right, I saw, I don't remember what that officer's name is, but he was filming the transaction in in Mr. Tawfik's office with the secretary or the girl that works in the office. And Sergeant DeJesus was asking the questions, and he asked about payment, and the girl kept saying on the video that only cash or Venmo, right?
Cash was Zelle, I believe it's Zelle.
Yeah, it was, but I remember hearing there was no other thing, and then there's a shot of what Lieutenant Medina said, that on the wall it says cash or electronic payment.
And so this footage is after the fact, like after the complaint, they went to
Well,
ask
yeah,
questions or
the
whatever?
officers responded to a call for service at AT Tone.
Okay.
And then the second one is, I think it's the other officer, Officer Ritchie's body cam footage of him talking to Adele. And Adele is sitting on the car. And he's saying that he's only gonna take cash or the electronic payment. I mean, I did see him. I have to testify that what I saw.
Well, could we see this video as well?
What's that?
Well,
I'll let Lieutenant Medina can speak to that.
I don't have an issue with showing it, I just don't know what the policy was, the department showing, what the process of showing it.
I just feel that my part, I just need him to list his finding and Mr. Adele to present his case. No matter how many warnings or whatever there have been given to the towers, I feel that you as a tower should know that you have to follow the ordinance and also your contract in order to serve the community. If the police department is being kind of in a nice way, letting you know, listen, this, you're not following the ordinance and letting you slide this time, I mean, that's up to them to allow that to happen. But I think in the contract and the ordinance should be followed by the towers. That's the way to serve our community.
well, that was the problem, the contract and the
does-
ordinance contradicts itself.
It doesn't contradict, the contract only has the method of payment. The ordinance does not have
Right.
any method of payment. That
Right.
doesn't mean that you should ignore what the contract said, because if you sign it, you're signing something that it says the payment
But I think we should just
transaction.
make everything just
If
completely
we
clear
want, we can.
to clarify it.
To
So
clarify
that there's no
further.
gray area.
But it's not an excuse not to accept it. I mean, my son just got his car towed, and he was told to pay only cash. But it is what it is. I mean, we just have to follow what the ordinance says and what the towing contract is, hand in hand. That's the way I feel.
May I add one more thing? As of last Thursday, AT Tone received a complaint that officers went there in reference to. And reading the notes of the complaint that were put in our system, the officer stated that there was an individual there attempted to pay for credit card and was told Zelle or cash that their machine is still out of service. Now, this incident happened in June, and we're in September, and that machine's still out of service. So at one point, what are you gonna make the repairs that follow the contract to fix it?
Okay. Any more question for the officer?
No, I'm good,
Thank you
But
very
I-
much.
Thank you.
May I?
Yes, go ahead.
Is there anybody else coming up here?
No. That's it.
You know
for
what?
that.
Not for nothing. You know, I said what I said, but I'm gonna add now. First of all, I do believe in fairness. I have in my hand all the tow complaints against all the other tow trucks operators. I'm not gonna get into this now. So I'll just make my argument more clearer. That everybody should be treated fairly and evenly. You know, I'm hearing a lot, but I also know what's in here. So, with that said, I know we discussed this and or whatever that is, right? It should, then we should vote on it tonight and put it in there. So there is no gray area. You know, what we don't really get here is that these wreckers, whether it's Mr. Topic or All Car or Bin or King High or any of them, that's their living. This is what they do for a living. This is how they make their money. This is how they feed their families. So, you know, at the end of the day, they should all be treated fairly. I keep hearing all this about fairness and transparency and all of that. And I can honestly say it's one-sided. And to me, they're not in the business to lose money. They're in the business to make a living. Now, we're gonna say, hey, now, if they're getting beat with their credit cards, because as soon as the person pays with the card and they drive around the block and they just dispute the claim, that means that's just another added expense. Now, we're telling them what they can do and what they can't do. I think, in the end, the option should be the tow truck, the operator, the business owner. But if they don't have any other forms of payment and they have to use the credit card, then that's the way it should be. Because you know what? If I had to put out $400, I can't go take it out of the ATM. I'm gonna have to use my credit card or my debit card. And in all fairness. So we need to work this out. We need to put all these parties in the same room like they used to do back in the day here and put all the tow truck operators in this room and Lieutenant Medina, who happens to be a very decent person, and meet with the traffic guys, work out your differences, and so we can move forward. You know, I'm not a rookie here. I didn't just land on the planet. I've been doing this for a long, long, long time. And as long as I'm sitting here, I'm always going to talk about fundamental fairness. Like I said, I got it in my hand right here. But it's not my night to blow everybody up. So, you know, at the end of the day, we're tasked on doing something. And you know what? We are the governing body. And it is up to us. All 5 of us that sit up here, we make that ultimate decision. So, you know, at the end of the day, it works both ways. But let's do something. I just made a suggestion. Let's get all the towing operators in this room and hammer this out. And I'll be willing to come here on my own. I mean, I do get paid to be a councilman. I'll come here and sit here and listen. But we should do this. And make it clear to them what they can do and what they can't do. Because you know what? Mr. Topic is not the only wrecker in town here. So, and I'm sure, and just like I know the council president's son, that was a different, it wasn't AT that towed her son's car. So, you know, at the end of the day, let's all get on the same page here. We're all supposed to be working for the same goal, the city of Perth Amboy, and the people that live in it.
And following your
Rant. That was a rant.
yes, we also have to think we all understand their position. That's their way of living, but we also have to consider our residents. And to me, just forcing, I think dictating how the person who's getting their car, how they gonna pay for it, I think is not being fair either. because when I go to pay for something, I want to have choices of how to pay it. And I think the residents should have that. Do you
And
need?
I agree, Council President.
Yes, I mean, it's fair to everybody. I'm not against having the conversation to adjust the ordinance to make it fair, more clear, because there are things in there, and that's our duty to do. So we do need to work on it, but we also have to agree on what we're gonna put there.
If I may, so before the chief speaks, I just want to say, it's coming time to renew those contracts anyway. That's already in the plans to bring everybody in and meet with them anyway before that time comes.
I was gonna say, when is the next contract up?
That's around, I think it's like November, December, sometime at the end of this
Something
year.
at the end of the year is usually.
Before they renew.
They
Okay.
expire December 31st, but the renewal period, I believe, is October 15th.
Something like that.
I would like,
Thank you.
yeah, we would like to see that, them get together and work something out.
Chief?
In black and white, because I like to see everything in black and white.
Good evening, Council President, Council. Just what Councilman Puccio was talking about as far as that and transparency, just so you're aware, every year when the contracts come up, all CAD incidents that we have for any of the towing companies get sent to you in a report. So you have a synopsis of that. So any complaints, yes, any complaints that you have or whatever, I shouldn't say you, any complaints that were received, positive, negative, whatever that is, any responses to any of the tow companies
Comes to us.
in town and out of town get provided to you for that reason, so that you can go through them. And in there, if you have a question about a specific incident, then you can call and say, hey, what about this number? What was this about? But it's a snapshot of our computer-aided dispatch system. So you get that every year. Just so, again, in all fairness, you see it all every year that when you get that.
Okay,
Yes,
so
we do.
Yeah,
These-
Chief, there's no
sorry.
disputing that. There's no-
Right, yeah, no, I think I remember receiving the previous, that, I just can't recall, is that include the complaints that, that were settled and how, you know, there's discoveries that they were either thrown out or they were resolved, or that includes all that whole report, all
Yes.
the complaints?
It's a comprehensive report. The lieutenant puts it together with other members from his bureau. And what it is, basically a synopsis. This is where they're located. There were X amount of calls. There were X amount of complaints. There were X amount of, whatever that may be. So you have the CAD reports. You'll also have the synopsis of the complaints, founded, unfounded, whatever they were. Any
Right, the
suspensions.
outcome of it, whether they were found guilty
May I,
or they
Chief?
were.
May I? Councilman Morales, yes, that, everything you just said
Everything's
is
included?
true. It's
Okay.
all in there.
Perfect, thank you.
You already have it.
Thanks.
Right, and that would be anything else that may have occurred or anything else that happened at the address, positive, negative. If they were late to calls, if we called them and they take 20 minutes to get there, and we go on a rotate, any of those things that we have all goes in there, so that you make an educated decision when you decide who you're going to approve to do this year. The lieutenant gives his recommendations, it goes through the chain, and then it goes to you to make the ultimate decision as to, hey, you know what, I think this person has too many complaints, we're gonna have you take off for a year and go there. And that does happen in other towns. I know I was speaking to the chief law enforcement officer in Woodbridge, who was telling me the same thing, that they whittled their list down big time because of a lot of people that were abusing and so forth. They took them right off the list. So that does happen in other municipalities and so forth by the governing body.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right? Thank you.
Okay. Let's continue.
I just wanted to make just one quick comment. I agree with Councilman Buccio mentioned and what we have mentioned previously about amending the ordinance, and I'm glad that the contract is up and the conversations are going to happen. I think that transparency, communication, although sometimes may be difficult, is key. My concern is that it has to be crystal clear, because a law is a law, an ordinance is an ordinance, but it's how we interpret it. And I know in the Predatory Towing Act, for 56:13-4, it does say, unless the operator believes that the person has a car that might be stolen, but it also said if the operator accepts that form of cash. So the and/or can be confusing, because are they allowed to refuse or not? But then it also says, the only time is if they have a bona fide reason to believe that the card was stolen and expired, because those cases do happen, but then that's not always the case, so it's confusing. But I just want to make sure when we revisit it, it's black and white to all of us, so that way there's no and/or, but at my company, we don't allow it, but at your company, maybe we do. So, referring back to the Predatory Towing Prevention Act, but also coming up as a governing body, and in the law, are we leaving it up to the operator? What are the credit card fees? And that's a whole other question, because I know when we go to restaurants, if we pay with credit card, there's a fee. Who's responsible for those fees? What are the percentages? Do they go up? Do they don't? This is complex it's a complicated amendment, in my opinion, if we rush it. But I am on board with going to it, but also doing research and looking at other ones. Like I'm looking at the North Brunswick one, and they do use language from the Predatory Towing Act to refer to when payments aren't accepted if there's a valid reason. So,
Madam President, may I add to Councilwoman Cruz Batista? Cruz Batista. You know, when it is an expense for them to use the credit card, right? Not only to the consumer, but to the business, where they can't pass that on to the person because the ordinance prohibits them from any extra charges. So, but still, all in all, I think it has to be that they're able to take it anyway.
I agree.
Thank you. We continue ordinance public hearing, 3 minutes maximum per speaker per ordinance. Number one, an ordinance of the City of Perth Amboy in the County of Middlesex, New Jersey, amending the description in section 1 and providing a supplemental appropriation of $645,000 for ordinance number 2160-2024, finally adopted May 22nd, 2024. Number two, an ordinance of the City of Perth Amboy, County of Middlesex, New Jersey, to amend and supplement an ordinance entitled Peddling and Soliciting, ordinance number 572-91, adopted September 17, 1991, also known as Chapter 317, Peddling and Soliciting, Article 1, Peddles of the Code of the City of Perth Amboy. Number three, an ordinance of the City of Perth Amboy, County of Middlesex, New Jersey, to amend an ordinance entitled Vehicles and Traffic, ordinance number 194-78, as amended, adopted September 19, 1978, also known as Chapter 414 C of the Code of the City of Perth Amboy, and this is in reference of stop intersections. Agenda, public comment. Citizen may address the council on any matter on the agenda which does not have its own scheduled public hearing. Citizens shall be permitted to speak once for a maximum of 3 minutes. Minutes, council meetings for November 24, 2024, December 11, 2024, January 8th, 22nd, and 2025, February 12 and 26, 2025, reorg meeting January 8, 2025. Reports, Fallon Barczewski, tax collector, submitted the report of collection for the month of August 2025. Number two, Jill A. Goldie, CFO Controller, submitted the following: investment report for the month of August 2025, revenue and appropriation status reports as of August 2025, current fund, water, wastewater utility, parking utility, Harborside Marina utility, and check register report for August 2025 in the total amount of $16,479,945.32. Ordinance, first reading, no public discussion. An ordinance of the City of Perth Amboy to amend an ordinance entitled, an ordinance designating restricted parking spaces for use by handicapped persons. Ordinance number 380-85 and amendments adopted July 2nd, 1985, also known as Chapter 255 C of the Code of the City of Perth Amboy, and this is about addition and deletion. Resolution R 385-925, authorizing accumulated leave payout for Nicholas Milroy in the amount of $43,606.37 on separation from services on September 1st, 2025. R 386-925, authorizing accumulated leave payout for Ana Fernandez Peña in the amount of $1,036.08 on separation from service on August 19, 2025. R 387-925, authorizing accumulated leave payout for Abraham Chavarria in the amount of $684.52 on separation from service on September 1st, 2025. R 388-925, authorizing the insertion of revenue in the calendar year 2025 budget pursuant to NJSA 48, column 4-87, Chapter 159, PL 1948, for the Neighborhood Preservation Program grant in the amount of $125,000. R 389-925, authorizing the insertion of revenue in the calendar year 2025 budget pursuant to NJSA 48, column 4-87, Chapter 159, PL 1948, for the Driver's Sober or Get Pullover grant in the amount of $7,000. R 390-925, awarding a contract to PKF O'Connor Davis for audit services with regard to the calendar year 2025 audit in the amount not to exceed $90,500. R 391-925, rejecting bids for the Dalton Park Trailer Relocation Project. R 392-925, rejecting bids for the City Roll Gate Removal Project. R 393, authorizing a refund of a special bulk appointment fee in the amount of $30 to Jorge Perez. R 394-925, authorizing settlement of the workers' compensation litigation via an order approving settlement with dismissal in the matter entitled Tracy Guarneri versus City of Perth Amboy, CP number 2013-31650 for the amount of $13,500. Are we going to have a closed session about that?
That's with the closed session on the,
Okay,
if you want.
somehow it's not here.
Well, no, the closed session reso always follows the communications on the agenda.
Sorry, I was
All right.
going ahead of myself here. Okay. R 395-925, authorizing the submission of an application to the New Jersey Enterprise Zone Authority for Urban Enterprise Zone Assistance Funds for public safety purposes in the Urban Enterprise Zone Program in the amount not to exceed $300,000. R 396-925, authorizing the purchasing agent to scrap 6 police vehicles which are inoperable and have no auction value. R 397-925, authorizing the 2025-2026 renewal of plenary retail consumption packet license number 1216-33-099-005, held in the name of Los Ramos LLC, effective September 26, 2025. R 398-925, authorizing the place-to-place transfer of plenary retail consumption packet license number 1216-33-070-004, held in the name of VNR Multiple Investment LLC, TA Concon Quemao Restaurant to 232 New Brunswick Avenue, effective September 25, 2025. There's some communications. And closed session resolution, R 384-925, authorizing a closed session at the September 24, 2025 council meeting to discuss the following: workers' compensation litigation, Tracy Guarneri versus City of Perth Amboy, CP number 2013-31650. I need a motion.
Second.
Councilwoman Cruz Batista?
Yes.
Councilwoman Morales?
Yes.
Councilwoman Peralta?
Yes.
Councilman Puccio?
Yes.
Council President Tejeda?
Yes. Public portion, 3 minutes maximum per speaker. I need a motion to open to the public.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? You can come up too. Bring it down.
Hello, good afternoon. Él me va a traducir.
Okay.
So, vengo por un handicap para mi mamá.
Su nombre, perdón.
Su
Charina
nombre y
Vargas.
dirección.
Ok, Charina Vargas Sosa y la dirección es 151 Louis Street.
151 Lewis Street. Okay, go ahead.
Ok, vengo por un handicap para mi mamá. La razón por la de que me lo denegaron es porque hay dos y ella fue operada hace más o menos aproximadamente un año. Le pusieron un trasplante de rodilla, la cual por ahí no hay parqueo y se me hace bien difícil poder ayudarla como a parquearse y eso. Al ella estar forzando esa pierna que le operaron, ahora le tienen que operar la otra. Le he dicho que no haga los trámites para esa operación porque como no hay parqueo, ¿cómo voy a poder con ella? Tengo un niño también como para poder ayudarla. En tiempo de frío su rodilla flaquea mucho, ella cojea de esa pierna y también, vamos a decir, si camina mucho, le duele el frío, la lluvia, por tener el trasplante de rodilla.
Okay. You can translate for the ones that don't speak. Get close to the mic, please.
So long story short, so she's done it for a handicap for her mom, right? So her mom got like a transplant on her leg. They denying it. I don't know why. So she done spoke with the city, but she don't want to do it because it don't make no sense. Trying to afford when they be denying the handicap. So she said it's been too cold for her to be walking late at night or during the day. And literally, what she said was too long, but the point is she keep looking for the handicap and they keep denying and she's not able to be walking like she wants, you know? And that street where she lives is too hard to be finding park late at night, during the day, almost every day the same thing. So that's what basically she said.
Okay. Thank you.
I just want to understand, she had a knee replacement?
Knee replacement on one leg, and she needs a second one
On the
on
second
the other,
leg?
on the second leg, and she's delaying the second transplant because of
Because
no.
she has a child and she can't maneuver her
She,
child
I
and her
think
mother.
you sent a letter once, right? 151? Okay. All right.
151
151 Lewis.
And she states that she doesn't know why she was denied the
Well,
handicap?
no, she stated that it was denied because there's two
spots.
two
Okay.
spots already on that side.
Because he said that she doesn't know why, he said that she
Yeah,
didn't know why. So
I
just
noticed that
wanna-
when he translated
Yeah.
that it was
Okay.
wrong.
La razón por la que me lo denegaron es porque ya hay dos.
There's
Entonces,
two.
yo estoy tratando de que puedan poner el tercero para entonces poder seguir con los trámites a la otra pierna a que la puedan operar para ponerle el próximo trasplante
Okay.
de rodilla.
Okay, thank you. We'll look into it and get back to you. Okay,
Thank you.
okay,
Thank you.
Chief. I know she was the one that would send a letter.
I just looked quickly at that address, and it was back in July. There was some correspondence back and forth. From what I have, it was that there's already two on the street.
Yes.
And that the other was also the ADA, that it didn't necessarily fit under the ADA.
Okay.
Okay? Is this young lady the person, or is it for
No,
her
the
mom?
mother.
Okay, because
She-
she just operated her vehicle and parked in a handicap spot in front of here.
Can you
So-
repeat that?
When she came in, when I came in, and her vehicle, she was driving, she parked in a handicap spot outside there.
Okay.
So I'll investigate that right now to see if that's a violation or not, if she is in fact a handicapped person or not, but. So that's why I was unclear whether it was her or her mom that it was for, because
It's
the
her
letters
mom.
that I saw was for her mom.
It's her mom.
Should we, clarify the rules so that she knows since she is here?
I think somebody should just
I think it
advise
says
her.
right
Absolutely, I'm gonna, yeah, that if she's not,
Advise her that
Yeah,
she-
like, let's give her the heads up that.
absolutely,
you know.
if she's not the handicapped person, clearly she can't be parking in a handicapped spot.
Madam
Okay.
President,
Go ahead.
can you translate in Spanish?
Okay.
All right.
Should we bring her up?
What's her name? I'm
¿Cómo
sorry.
se llama?
¿Cómo es que? Charina.
Charina.
Dice el jefe de la policía que cuando tú llegaste te estacionaste en el handicap de aquí. ¿Tú tienes placard? ¿Pero es para ti o es para tu mamá?
Does she drive? I had to come up.
Okay.
Maybe if she comes up. Ella, okay.
Okay.
Okay, we can't hear her.
Okay, so the placard belongs to her, because of her mother, she's the driver. And so that's why she parked there. So she's not allowed because the mother is not with her, right? Correct? Is that how it
Yes.
goes?
Can we, so,
Okay.
para que usted, para que
Yeah, could you
entienda,
tell her to come back up? What I know is the mother drive the
No,
vehicle?
no. She
Una-
drives.
yeah.
The mother doesn't
Su
drive.
mamá no maneja, ¿verdad que no? ¿O sí? Ok. So el handicap es para tu mamá. Pero tú manejas el carro y el carro es suyo. So para que sepa,
Para que sepa y no
para el
tenga
futuro
problema.
y no tenga problema, él pudiera darte un ticket hoy porque tu mamá no está contigo, so para que sepa que cuando te parquea un lugar de handicap, tu mamá tiene que estar contigo en el carro. Para que sepa. Ajá. Te queremos educar para que no te den un ticket en el futuro, para evitar problemas. Solo era eso.
Okay.
Pregunta, ¿tu mamá tiene licencia o usted lo que le va a guiar a ella?
Yo soy la que le manejo a ella.
Okay, so ella no tiene licencia ahora, or no? Okay, can we translate for my
Okay,
translations
no,
or
no,
not?
she,
Good.
the mother does not have any license, a driver's license. She's her driver, okay? Okay,
And so I told her that basically she can only have the tag when she's driving her mother.
Okay,
okay, thanks.
Thank you.
thank you.
I'm sure she was unaware.
All right, anybody else? I'm sorry. Okay, we're gonna look into it, in maybe 2 weeks? In 2 weeks, en 2 semanas, okay? Te dejamos saber.
Sorry, now my languages are getting mixed up. From who will this communication come from, just so that she's,
Okay,
Not
it could,
confused.
Not
sometimes
confused or
I
not.
ask the BA to write to you, but since I'll send you the email.
okay, so el correo viene
De Milady Tejeda, de la ciudad. Thank you. Go ahead. Go ahead.
All yours.
We're done.
It's your show, not mine. First of all, my lawyer told me this. He graduated from Princeton. Government's in business to make your life miserable. Remember that. And Mr. Puccio, what you did was right. You did the right thing. You said the right thing. Very interesting what happened with the tow truck. Very interesting. Okay, here we go. Smith Street is becoming a racetrack with these e-bikes. I'm telling you right now, I sit there, as you go down, that's my retirement life. It's becoming a racetrack, Smith Street, with these e-bikes. The same thing going up and down the sidewalks. The poor people who go shopping can't walk. Who comes first, the e-bike or the pedestrian? Who has the right of way? It's turning into a circus out there. Seriously. Can't have it with those e-bikes doing that. Going up and down, you ought to take a look and see it. And the same thing with the little U-turns with the cars. Smith and Hobart, they're smart. They see the cop car leave, they do the U-turns. It's all playing by design. And they always had that excuse. The cops will tell you, well, we can't be everywhere. That's an old excuse. Start putting cameras up there. You know, let's put cameras. It might work. And they get you with the camera. Now with the e-bikes, for you, it might sound a little crazy, and I know this is coming. It's coming after the election for governor. This is what they might do, and they do it in Germany. All the e-bikes, no matter what, shape, size, they're gonna make you have registration and insurance. They do that in Germany. All e-bikes, stand up, whatever, registration and insurance mandatory. I think California's starting to put that up there already. They're gonna make you do that. Because when a person gets hit by an e-bike, who's gonna pay for it? Remember, either the pedestrian or the e-bike comes first. They're considered like a motor vehicle almost. It's gonna happen. Once this election's over for governor, they're gonna come up to you. You're gonna have to put an ordinance. Make these people have insurance and registration, no matter what. Watch. It's all planned by design. You look at me like it's crazy. No, time to wake up. They gotta make you clean up your town, no matter who wins. Can't have a circus in this town. We already got a circus. The circus stops. Seriously, thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
How you doing? I was here last week, and I gave you guys a
Name and
petition.
address, please.
So Felix Castillo, 540 Colgate Avenue.
Okay.
I gave you guys a petition last time here. I'm here for the citizens, for the senior citizens from New Brunswick Avenue on both sides. And I have all the petitions on there. I'm here on their behalf too, besides me being here. Okay, the situation with the cars running fast at nighttime, it's not only happening in the daytime. It's happening very late at nighttime. I have a lot of video recordings on this situation we're having right now with the cars. I call all the time. What I think that should be done is that these guys know, and they're not from Perth Amboy. These guys have come from Fords, from Edison, from everywhere on that side. What we need is police presence on that neighborhood. I go to the senior citizens every other day to sit down to see what they have, what their problems are, and their problems is the speeding on New Brunswick Avenue. And I want to clarify that this has to be, this is a serious issue. We had kids crossing the street, get killed this summer, very serious. So my thing is that I'm here to fight for them, and not only for me. I want police presence at nighttime there, because they know that the cops are in the police officers are in the township. They're not on that side of our town, of Perth Amboy. That's why they're taking advantage, racing, and I mean, I got videos of everything here. Something's gotta be done. We have to get police presence more into that area there, from Colgate Avenue, from Florida Grove Road to New Brunswick Avenue to the senior citizens home where McDonald's is at. That's their routine every night, all the way to 2 o'clock in the morning. I lose sleep sometimes. And we have to do something about this. And the baseball players, I called last week. I told them, they told me who's drinking. I said the Magic Scissors Barbershop. I told them where they're at. They went to the opposite side. And young officers shaking their hands with the baseball players. I got video of that too. But that's not my concern right now. My concern is I'm gonna fight for the senior citizens that complain to me, and I'm here to fight for them, and they can't cross the street because of this and the noise. I mean, I got recordings that's incriminating to what I'm talking about, okay? I'm trying to speak as fast as I can because of the clock. But like I said, we have to do something. We need more police presence in that area. So this can stop. This will make them not come around anymore. Once they see that they're there all the time, they're gonna go to another spot. You follow me? I appreciate your time.
Thank you,
Thank you.
thank you.
Adele Tawfiq, 341 Colfax Street. So back to the towing, the contracts. I did mention in the past that we need to have the meetings with all the towing guys. Mr. Keel had agreed, and hopefully we could do it, because, again, there's a lot of stuff, a lot of gray areas. And my second part to that is that what's being done about this targeted enforcement with only certain individuals. There's only certain individuals, like Council President said, her son got towed, person said X, Y, and Z. Did anything ever come out of that? Down by my area, Area 2, by my shop, Grand and Patterson, everybody knows the famous portable flock system the police department has with all these fancy cameras on it. There's 3 on my corner, 3. High crime area, it's not. It's one of the least, one of the quietest. Something to think about. Why there's 3 cameras right by my area? Who's the focus on? There's 1 on each intersection. If you don't believe me, drive by and look at them. But again, I want to know what the city's going to do about this targeted enforcement from the police department. All the singling out from the police department, especially when there's other things in place that are taking effect. How far will it go, and when will it stop? Again, why is this 3 cameras down by me? It's not because of high crime area, that's for sure. As far as the meeting, I would like to see it sooner done than later, because it's been probably centuries since we had them, and they were very efficient. We got to discuss our problems, and we came to common denominators. As far as warnings from the police department, believe me when I tell you, they give no warnings. I'll tell you that for a fact. They either come with summons in their hands, or they come with suspension, violation, and threats. That's all it is. There has to be a shift of power. You guys need to handle this more than the police department does. Because the way I see it, the police department right now is a dictatorship. Nothing else comes out of it. Nothing. So if you guys could coordinate with all of us, we could get together, I would really appreciate it. Thank you.
Just for clarification, my son had to do the claim, not myself. I mean, he has that choice, but he didn't. In order for that particular tow to be given a ticket or whatever, a suspension, I gave him the choice to make the claim, but he didn't want to do it.
The claim,
You know, to complain against that tow, because he was the owner, you know.
Back to the ordinance as it states. Thank you,
No,
Mr.
I mean, I cannot make the complaint for him. He's an adult.
Correct.
Even if he was driving my car, I couldn't make it. Yes.
I'd just like to clarify, I can't speak about specific police operations, but the placement of any cameras or anything else we have are directly related to complaints received for areas and so forth. And in that particular area, the administration can attest to, we've gotten multiple complaints there, myself, as well as the mayor's office, for particular incidents that were occurring that are now not occurring because of those presence of those cameras. They've been there for about a month, and I wouldn't use the word high crime or what have you, but there was certainly some nuisance things that were going on, that the inequality of life issues that the residents were complaining about that we were addressing.
How many, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
How many of those cameras do we have
Well, we have
currently?
we have many different types of cameras and those kinds of things. I can't get into specificities.
Of those same types of cameras, approximately how many do we have? The 3 that he's stating are in his corner.
I'm not sure what he's referring to, exactly what is on
Flock
his corner and
cameras?
what they are.
I think that's what he called it, the flock.
The portable flock
I
cameras.
have no idea what he's talking about. We
I
have
guess-
The cameras that you're stating that were placed there,
We have mobile trailers, yes. We do
okay,
have
how
mobile
many of
trailers.
those do we have?
We have 6.
6. And out of the 6, we have 3 in that area, you're saying?
I'm not saying that, no.
I am. I'll see your pictures. You know.
Okay, because, I'm sorry, the town is, it's not the biggest town, but in my opinion, I don't think we should have 3 out of the 6 in one
Area.
specific area. That makes no sense to me.
chief's not saying that.
Yeah, no,
I'm
I'm
not
just
saying
saying, based on what he's saying, if that is the case, if that were the case, I will drive by and check myself. I don't think that, in my opinion, that's efficient. We should definitely look at that again. Just wondering,
It's dictated by needs of the community.
yeah.
I do have a question regarding the, I know you had put out during the summer regarding the e-bikes and mopeds and stuff like that. I know you putting out. So I just wanted to make sure I clarify, how is that being enforced? Because I myself, one time, was on a sidewalk, was almost run over by one of those mopeds. And how are we enforcing this? And how's the police department enforcing this?
We have some
Because it is very dangerous for, the pedestrians, and not only for the pedestrians, but the drivers of those e-bikes and mopeds as well.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Okay. We do have some statistics about what we've been doing as far as taking the bikes, summonses, and so forth. They're working on with the mayor's office to get out. Also, there were a couple municipalities around that have come out with recent legislation through their council for ordinances and so forth for them and how they deal it. And we're evaluating them for recommendations to the administration and to you guys for doing that. You are aware, of course, of the issue that we had about 2 years ago at this point about the bicycle and the license and so forth.
Right.
And, so we, of course, clearly need to be cognizant of other issues that other municipalities may not have that we may have. So we have to modify that to be appropriate for us here in Perth Amboy, but we are looking at some of those ordinances. Just as a snapshot, some of them are requiring helmets for anyone 18 or under. Others are requiring licenses. Others are requiring registrations of them so they know who they are, those types of things. And some are zero tolerance. You're caught out there, you're doing it, you don't have a helmet on, it's confiscated. And that's it. First time, maybe go back to the parents, that type of thing. Multiple occasions, those times. So there's some that are extremely strict, others a little more liberal. So we're looking to try to be somewhere to fit for Perth Amboy.
I think we should get something, because it
Agreed.
is quite
saw it today.
dangerous, not only for the driver, but for other, for the pedestrians as well.
Agreed.
So,
We have had
yes.
accidents. We've had people, doing things they shouldn't be doing and so forth with them and having accidents. So absolutely for the safety of everyone.
Yes, thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Seeing none, I need a motion to close public portion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, against? Okay, we'll be back to adjourn the caucus and then start the city council meeting.
Tashi, motion?
Move it.
Closed session.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. I need a motion to return from closed session.
Move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? I need a motion to adjourn the caucus meeting.
Move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Okay, now we are here. Good evening, this is the September 24, 2025 council meeting. Presiding officer of the council, Milady Tejeda, wishes to advise the audience that notice of this meeting has been filed with the Home News Tribune, the Star Ledger, and posted on the bulletin board in the city clerk's office and on the city's website, indicating that today's meeting is being held in the council chambers, City Hall, 260 High Street, right after the caucus and closed session. Council President Tejeda, as a courtesy of the governing body, I will ask all individuals present, including members of the audience, to please turn off all cell phones and electronic devices. Should you need to make a telephone call, please go out into the hallway and speak in a low voice so as not to disturb the ongoing meeting. Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Cruz Batista.
Present.
Councilwoman Morales.
Present.
Councilwoman Peralta.
Present.
Councilman Puccio.
Present.
Council President Tejeda.
Present. Let's stand for the invocation and Dear Lord, please watch over this governing body. Provide us with the wisdom and understanding the needs of our residents and the town. I also want to pray for those that are defending our freedom abroad and in the nation. Protect our children, protect their family, and protect every moment in our life that we are here with so much violence that is going on right now. I pray for our freedom and our protection. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, ordinance, public hearing, 3 minutes maximum per speaker per ordinance. Number one, an ordinance of the city of Perth Amboy in the county of Middlesex, New Jersey, amending the description in section 1 and providing a supplemental appropriation of $645,000 for ordinance number 260-2024, finally adopted May 22nd, 2024. I need a motion to open to the public.
Move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Against? Seeing none, I need a motion to close public hearing.
Move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? I need a motion to adopt.
Move.
Second.
Councilwoman Cruz Batista.
Yes.
Councilwoman Morales.
Yes.
Councilwoman Peralta.
Yes.
Councilman Puccio.
Yes.
Council President Tejeda.
Yes. Number two, an ordinance of the city of Perth Amboy, County of Middlesex, New Jersey, to amend and supplement an ordinance entitled Paralleling and Soliciting, ordinance number 572-91, adopted September 17, 1991, also known as Chapter 317, Paralleling and Soliciting, Articles 1, Peddlers of the Code of the City of Perth Amboy. I need a motion to open to the public.
Move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Seeing none, I need a motion to close public hearing.
Move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? I need a motion to adopt.
Move.
Second.
Councilwoman Cruz Batista.
Yes.
Councilwoman Morales.
Yes.
Councilwoman Peralta.
Yes.
Councilman Puccio.
Yes.
Council President Tejeda.
Yes. An ordinance of the City of Perth Amboy, County of Middlesex, New Jersey, to amend an ordinance entitled Vehicles and Traffic, ordinance number 194-78, as amended, adopted September 19, 1978, also known as Chapter 414 of the Code of the City of Perth Amboy, and this is about stop intersections. I need a motion to open to the public.
Move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Seeing none, I need a motion to close public hearing.
Move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Against? I need a motion to adopt.
Move.
Second.
Councilwoman Cruz Batista?
Yes.
Councilwoman Morales?
Yes.
Councilwoman Peralta?
Yes.
Councilman Puccio?
Yes.
Council President Tejeda?
Yes. Agenda, public comment. Citizen may address the council on any matter on the agenda which does not have its own scheduled public hearing. Citizens shall be permitted to speak once for a maximum of 3 minutes. This is on agenda item only. I need a motion to open to the public.
Move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Seeing none, I need a motion to close public comment.
Move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Okay, minutes. Council meetings for November 24, 2024, December 11, 2024, January 8 and 22nd, 2025, February 12 and 26, 2025, reorg meeting January 8th, 2025. I need a motion to approve the minutes.
Move it.
I'd like to,
So I need a second.
Second.
Okay, go ahead. She has to.
so I'd like to abstain from November 24th, 2024, and December 11th, 2024.
Okay. Councilwoman Cruz Batista?
Yes.
Councilwoman Morales?
Yes.
Councilwoman Peralta?
Yes, except for November 24th and December
Number
11th.
11. Councilman Puccio?
Yes.
Council President Tejeda?
Yes. Reports. Fallon Barjeski, tax collector, submitted the report of collection for the month of August 2025. Jill A. Goldie, CFO controller, submitted the following. Investment report for the month of August 2025. Revenue and appropriation status report as of August 2025. Current fund, water, wastewater utility, parking utility, harborside marina utility. And the check register report for August 2025 and the total amount of $16,479,945.32. Ordinance, first reading, no public discussion. An ordinance of the City of Perth Amboy to amend an ordinance entitled, an ordinance designating restricted parking spaces for use by handicapped persons, ordinance number 380-85 and amendments, adopted July 2nd, 1985, also known as Chapter 255, of the Code of the City of Perth Amboy, and this is about addition and deletion. I need a motion.
Move.
Second.
Councilwoman Cruz Batista?
Yes.
Councilwoman Morales?
Yes.
Councilwoman Peralta?
Yes.
Councilman Puccio?
Yes.
Council President Tejeda?
Yes. All right, look over the resolution if you want to pull anything.
I'm good.
You good? Everybody's good?
I'm good.
Okay, so the consent agenda for tonight is R3 85-925 through R3 98-925. I need a motion.
Move it.
Second.
Is this an addition?
No, this is the backup for,
Oh, okay.
Councilwoman Cruz Batista?
Yes.
Councilwoman Morales?
Yes.
Councilwoman Peralta?
Yes.
Councilman Puccio?
Yes.
Council President Tejeda?
yes. Okay, session, public portion, 3 minutes maximum per speaker. I need a motion to open to the public on any item.
Move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Anybody? Seeing none, I need a motion to close public portion.
Move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Okay, council comments? Councilwoman Cruz Batista.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, of course, for those who participated, those who are here, the directors, officers, and our wonderful staff as well. As school is still the beginning of school in September, just reminding, I know we've said this before, for parents to just be aware that students are crossing, so just please be safe as you're dropping the students off and be patient. And as students are starting sports, best of luck, and that's pretty much it. Have a good evening.
Thank you. Councilwoman Morales.
Same, thank you for everyone that was here. I just want to wish everyone who's celebrating Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur next week, wishing you all the best, and everyone enjoy the evening. Thank you.
Wasn't Rosh Hashanah
Today?
yesterday? Today.
Well,
Right?
yesterday and today.
Okay. Councilwoman Peralta.
Just a few things. So the constituents that come up here, I just want to say that we do hear you. We hear the concerns. It is to a concern of ours. We do believe in police presence, and we will make sure that there is more presence, and we will try to address all concerns if possible. I also want to note that I disagree with the comment that was made earlier, that this town is a circus. I highly disagree that this town is not a circus. I believe that the police officers and all city employees work very hard to make our town organized, safe, beautiful, etc. So I just wanted to point that out, that our town is not a circus. And I hope everyone has a great evening.
Thank you. Councilman Puccio?
Well said there, Councilwoman Peralta.
Thank you.
I really don't have too much to say. I think I said enough for tonight. I just want to thank the BA and the city attorney for putting up with me tonight, and the fine job that the city clerk is doing, and John Luke.
Thank you.
And thank you, ladies, for putting up with me tonight. So.
Our pleasure.
It's our pleasure. All right, I just want to thank everybody who came up, who were listening to what you're saying. We're taking notes, and we're really gonna continue working for this community that we love and that we all love, and we will work for the safety and everything that happens in Perth Amboy. I just want to tell you, I just went to the first grand opening the other day to Pisco, and some of the council people that are here were there, like Rose and Stacy. And it was a nice place. I really love it, the way they have made it. So I invite everybody to, when you go out for dinner, go and visit them. Pisco's on where the Portuguese Manor used to be, Elm Street. And it's a beautiful place. I can't wait to go and visit them. I think they will do great. And it's nice that we're bringing new, different cuisine to our town. So with that,
The food was great.
it was good. What they had for us at the grand opening was delicious. So I invite everybody to go and visit them.
And can I just piggyback to that? Not to cut
Yes,
you
go
off,
ahead.
sorry.
No.
I think it's really important that, we contribute to our community. And so, as our council president has stated, it's a beautiful restaurant. That's not the only one. We have multiple restaurants that have opened up in town, and even our old restaurants. I think it's important that instead of leaving town, that we contribute to our own community and, take time to go visit these restaurants and the bakeries and whatever else our town has to offer, because that's why they're here. They're bringing to our community to serve us and, have these beautiful things to offer to us. So we should contribute by giving that same support back. And I can attest that it is a beautiful place and the food was delicious. So not just with that restaurant, but with all of the restaurants in town. Instead of leaving town, try to stay within the town. Sorry.
Yes. So we want them to succeed in our city. So I invite all of you to take a little walk over there and have a little nice dinner for whatever occasion you're celebrating. Or you don't even have to celebrate any occasion. Just go out and have a nice dinner. So with that, thank you for participating, and I need a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Against? Okay, have a good night, everybody.
Have a good night.